here at Sport Beach during Cannes Lion Creativity Festival Week, where creativity, culture, and sport collide. My name is Vesi. I'm a creative director at Team, where we bring experiential events to life. And I'm joined here by a true innovator who's pushing the boundaries of brand experiences. Abena Afriyie, Director of Innovation at Molson Coors, and a standout member of Becca Playbook, class of 2026.
That's right.
Abena leads innovation initiatives that weave together emerging tech, cultural relevance, and inclusive design, driving the brand towards meaningful future-facing experiences. Abena, please, let's start with your journey. Tell me a little bit about how did you find your way into innovation? Was that always the plan, to go into innovation with Molson Coors? And what fuels your passion that builds what's next?
Okay, well, thank you, Vesi. And first of all, just thank you for having me today. When I think about the question, it's really reflective of what has now been a 20-year career, with the last 10 being in marketing innovation. So to answer your question about has it always been innovation, really, I would say my early years was just about sort of gaining valuable experiences and soaking in and learning from those that were in the places to mentor me, but also who I thought were inspiring leaders. And I started my career in finance and happened to stumble upon mentors who were brand managers, marketers, and I started to ask the questions, well, how do I get into what you're doing? Knowing that at the heart of what they were doing was really about identifying pain points for consumers and creating solutions, whether it be a service or a product, to meet and address the pain point, right? So it's no longer a pain point. So I quickly learned that is marketing, that is innovation, that is brand management, and decided to go back to business school and started my career at Kraft Heinz, then went on to Tyson Foods, where I led breakfast innovation, and was at Tyson for about 7.5 years before now joining Molson Coors, where I'm almost at 60 days in the role.
Ooh.
I'm leading flavored alcohol innovation, and it's just a really exciting space. Beverages as a whole, it's a great industry as you think about trends, right? From prebiotic, probiotic drinks, the growth of hard seltzers, to sparkling beverages, like both non-alc and alcohol. There's so much opportunity. So it's been really exciting. And I think Molson is a place where, first and foremost, I could say the people are amazing. You talk to people and they've been at the company 10 years, 15 years. So it's a place where you can really grow your career. You can do rewarding work. And what's really cool is you can go out, whether on premise or off, and you see people enjoying your beverages, which is always really exciting for an innovator or a marketer.
We need to bring some more of those innovative drinks out here.
Yes, absolutely. Maybe next year.
That's quite a journey, from finance to innovation.
Yes.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I feel that what you mentioned about finding a consumer problem and solving for that need, would you say that that was the core of the Safe Travels campaign, or the Safe Travels concept?
Yes.
Walk us through that idea.
Absolutely. So just for the audience, I'm a member of the Black Executive CMO Alliance Future Leaders Program, class of 2026. And we had the great opportunity to compete for the chance to come to Cannes. And really, there was a prompt the teams were given, and it was about leveraging insights to speak to inclusion and diversity and delivering a new product or service, right? So to your point, the pain point is we think about global travel, right? Like think about preparing to come to Cannes and all the things that you do, searching what do people wear, to, you know, what's the itinerary. And I think my group, we found that there's an additional pain point when you are Black or African American or of the diaspora traveling abroad. There's also the question of, well, what if I want to attend certain events where people of the diaspora are, celebrated, or attend certain restaurants, or will I be safe there depending on what's happening, right? These are questions that many travelers have, and oftentimes will choose the safe choice as opposed to going to that new country or having an experience they haven't had before. And there really is a quantifiable miss in terms of dollars, right? As we think about the spending power of the diaspora across the world, there's a lot of, I think, commerce to be made as you find more ways to educate consumers and Black travelers about where they can go in the world. And really the Safe Travels app, it allows you to not only book your experience, but it also creates an itinerary for you. There's also a community of people who have been to the places that you want to go to. So it creates a community, and it's all doing it through the power of AI to give you not only to basically take what could take many months down to several minutes, right? And at this point, it's an idea, it's a concept, it's a pitch, but we think there's a lot of legs to the idea because there are many consumers with the pain point we're discussing.
Definitely. I definitely see the gap in the market, and I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to check out the app.
Yes, and what's really awesome is we're starting with Black travelers, but has the opportunity to expand to so many more groups, whether it's women, travelers with disabilities, LGBTQIA, right? Like there are many different groups where there are questions around safety, security, but not always safety. Also, maybe like where can I have joyful experiences, where certain events, and really the app is meant to address all of those needs.
I think the community is so important, and building that community, it's definitely something that must feel very rewarding.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I love talking to people about the Safe Travels app.
I love that. I also appreciate that you mentioned AI. We're here at the Creativity Festival, so it would be a miss if we don't talk about AI, right? I feel like that's the hot topic for our industry, and even for experiential marketing. So tell us a little bit about why was this so important, and was there something that was specific for the team to keep all the threads of the concept together?
Yeah, so I would say as we started brainstorming about the opportunity or idea, it's sort of like, what is a universal truth, or to your point, a pain point that we've all experienced, right? And one of the things we talked about is there is a nod to the Green Book, which is, the Green Book is a very old concept, but it was very popular in the Jim Crow South in the United States, and it was more of a physical book around where you can eat, where you can stay and feel safe as you travel across the U.S. So there's something about what was once old becoming new again, because although the world is changing, there are some elements that still feel very similar to times of the past. So as we talked about it, this was something that kept coming up, but how do you make it relevant for today, right? And to your point, AI allows us to essentially take a lot of time out of the process, right? And oftentimes you want to get to your decisions and your purchase decision a lot faster. So this is where we also think about, how do we monetize it, right? As we think about travel brands or brands that are focused on creating experiences, those would be great partner brands for the app like Safe Travels, to help not only get exposure to the users through the platform, but also finding ways to help monetize and then drive additional revenue for those brands. So ultimately, it was the common thread was, hey, this feels like a pain point that many people can relate to. And while we're starting with Black travelers, we know that there's opportunity for this to expand so many people can become a part of the Safe Travel community.
I love that. That's great. So with great ideas, there comes great responsibility, right? And you mentioned big names, Kraft, Tyson Foods, now Molson Coors, all legacy brands, right? So what are some of the real world challenges that you have faced when trying to bring bold, inclusive ideas to life? And what keeps you pushing forward?
So I think with legacy brands, one of the benefits of being with a legacy brand is it's been a part of the lives of consumers for many years, many generations. But one of the downsides is, well, how do you become relevant for the coveted Gen Z, right?
Yes.
Or find a way to drive relevance and break through when there's so many emerging brands doing things in scrappier ways. And what I found, regardless of the organization, because to your point, I've worked with many more legacy brands, data becomes so important, right? And what I respect about my past organizations and Molson Coors is, as long as you have strong data to tell the story, there's always someone in a position to support your, support your initiative or support your effort. They'll respond as long as the data is there,
Yes.
right? Because oftentimes we have gut feelings, right, as marketers, but it can be very costly to operate off of your gut.
True. That's
so
true.
the data becomes so important. And then the other thing I found in my experience is sometimes you can leverage external examples to help
Yes.
leadership understand. So it could be in your industry or your category, it could be outside of the category, but as long as you have a brand that has a similar sort of experience that can help leadership understand, like, okay, they were in a similar spot, this is sort of what they did, and this is the thread we're trying to sew between our issue and sort of what theirs was, and then you help them see the solution. But again, all data backed, all using it to drive decision making. I think that most established leaders will respond to that wholeheartedly.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think insights is everything. Strategy
Absolutely.
is king, right?
Yes.
And just driving to that idea with the statistics, with the strategy, with the data.
Yes.
And that's another way for AI to help us, I believe, and do things a little bit quicker than before.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you mentioned that your mentors helped you to find the path to innovation.
Yes.
So what would be one message that you can leave our guests with, or our marketers and creatives? What is a call to action?
It's hard to pick one thing, but I think to kind of go back to the theme we've had around pain points, right? It's building empathy. Always be in a position to build empathy with your consumers and those around you, because as we become more mature, we are becoming less and less likely to be the cohort we're trying to bring in. So it becomes really important to build empathy, to understand sort of their day-to-day, to understand the pain points in their lives, understand what brands they're responding to, what brands they're rejecting, so that you can continue to learn, right? As marketers, we are always students, and we should continue to be students of the space, but particularly in building empathy, and never, ever sort of getting to the point where you become complacent. Yes.
We always have to continue to challenge ourselves, right?
Absolutely.
Earlier today, Noah Lyles spoke about putting yourself into a challenging situation so you can grow.
Love that.
So we can always continue to grow and learn.
Absolutely.
Abena, thank you so much for your time today.
This was
it
great.
was a great
Thank you
pleasure.
So much. Pleasure meeting you.
You too.
Love the
Thank
conversation.
you.
Thank you.
Same.
Mm-hmm.